Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Biological Tips, and I hope you all are fine. And in this video we're going to start with the topic blood composition. Means what all blood comprises of, what does it contains. And before starting this video, I want people to know what is blood. Think of yourselves, what is a blood? Yeah, blood is a tissue. What? What are you saying? Blood is a tissue? Yeah, it's a tissue, but a connective tissue. Blood is a connective tissue. We have various kinds of connective tissue, and blood is one of them. So let's see the blood's compositions. Let's start with it. Okay. So we are gonna write the heading as blood. Now this blood is divided into two types, that is nothing but plasma and blood cells. Plasma and blood cells. I hope you know this thing. So let us see what is plasma. This plasma, okay. Now this plasma, the blood comprises of 55 to 60% of plasma, whereas all blood cells together consist 40 to 45. Blood consists 40 to 45% of blood cells. And again, these blood cells are divided into three. These are divided into three. I hope you all know, right? What are these three? Exactly, 1 second. These are nothing but your RBCs, WBCs, and left one is your platelets. I hope it should be clear. It's your platelet. Okay, friends. So RBCs are also called as erythrocytes. These are also called as erythrocytes, red blood cells, or you can say, you can say this thing, red blood cells, red blood corpuscles, and as well as erythrocytes. I hope I'm clear. Okay, now let us see what is WBC, also called as. WBC is nothing but your white blood cells. These are also called as leukocytes. These are also called as leukocytes, or WBCs are also called as white blood cells or white blood corpuscles. Corpuscles spelling you should remember, don't get confused. And the last, let's see what is the last one. That is platelets are also known as thrombocytes. Thrombocytes. Remember this thing. Thrombocyte. THROMBOCYTES. So now we have got to know about it. Now let us see what does RBC see in a particular. 1 second. Yeah. Now RBC, what does RBC does is mostly it helps in transportation of oxygen. Why is it helping in transportation of oxygen? Means it is consisting of something known as hemoglobin, a pigment, a red color pigment which is known as hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin is having lots of love towards oxygen, and because of it, wherever hemoglobin goes, oxygen moves with it. So it's a red color pigment which is rich in iron, that is your Fe. So hemoglobin is rich in iron, you should remember this. Now if you want to see, okay, now that if you want to see that in a healthy personality, in a female, I can tell, a female, in a female there are 4.5 to 5 million of RBCs per cubic millimeter. Per cubic millimeter. This is in females I'm talking about. 4.5 to 5 million. But when it comes to males, it is totally changed. It is nothing but it's 5 to 5.5. It's 5 to 5.5 cubic millimeter in males. Okay, so this was all about RBCs. No, now where are these RBCs are being produced? When a personality, before coming into this world, he will be in embryonic stage. At that time, RBCs are being produced in spleen. These are produced in spleen. Spleen is an organ. Whereas when it comes in this world, all the cells, all the blood cells, that is RBC, WBC, and platelets, all together are formed in your bone marrow. So remember, where are the blood cells getting, from where are they being produced? They are being produced from bone marrow. And the lifespan of an RBC is 120 days. After 120 days, these are being destroyed. And you should know one more thing about RBC is that after a particular time, see, when an RBC is getting, after being mature, after 120 days, a new RBC will be formed. After few days, it will get matured. After getting matured, the nucleus from the RBC will be thrown out from it. The nucleus from the RBC is thrown out from it. Now, it doesn't mean that you say it as prokaryotic cell now. No, before it was having nucleus, but now it doesn't need any nucleus. Okay, after getting matured. Now, one more thing is that I just wanted to share is in RBCs, I said we find hemoglobin, right? In RBCs only we find this one, right? Hemoglobin. We represent it by capital H and small b, hemoglobin. Hemoglobin ranges 15 grams in 15 grams for, suppose if we're taking 100 ml of blood. So 15 grams in males and 30 to 40 grams, I'll write it here. It ranges 15 grams per 100 milliliter in male, and in female it is 30 to 40 grams per 100 milliliter for a female. I'm talking this. So this was all about this thing. What about RBC? Now one more thing I want to just discuss, I'm so sorry, about RBC is that, let me tell you, what is it? 1 second. Yeah. So let me raise these topics, this thing. Now, sometimes what will happen, unnecessary rising of RBC, increase in RBC. First of all, I guess you all know what is anemia. The term anemia. This is also correct for someone and this is also correct. Both the spellings are correct. Here if you have A or if you don't have A, it doesn't matter. Mostly we use this one. So anemia is a situation where RBCs are less. They get decreased. Okay. Now, in a situation where RBCs are abnormally being increased, where RBCs are abnormally getting increased, they are rising of RBC, we give that term name as polycythemia. Polycythemia. It's a disease of bone marrow. I have already said bone marrow is nothing but which produces the new blood cells. So it is a disease of bone marrow. It is nothing but the name of that disease is known as polycythemia. Have a note of it. Polycythemia. It's a disease of bone marrow. Clear with it? Now, one more disease name is nothing but erythropoiesis. erythropenia. Erythropenia. So just let me write it for you. Erythro. Erythrocytopenia. Erythrocytopenia, or else you can tell it as erythropenia. Both are same. It's a deficiency in RBCs. The deficiency of red blood cells is also known as anemia, or else erythrocytopenia, or else erythropenia. Okay, I hope I'm clear with this also. Okay, now let us go for next thing is white blood cells. Our second type is nothing but white blood cells. We were here. So, oh my god, okay, let me erase only these things. So yes, so we are discussing about WBC, that is nothing but white blood cells or white blood corpuscles, and also known as leukocytes. You already know this, right? This is K actually. Okay, leukocytes. So let's see what are these. So WBCs are mostly good for your immunity system. Immunity system. These are responsible for your immunity system. One second. Okay. Yeah, these are responsible for your immunity system. What does your immunity does? Oh, so immunity system is nothing but which will help in fighting with the diseases, right? Okay, which will help in fighting with the diseases. It is given as a term known as policeman, because what does a policeman does, or what does a soldier do? Whether they will allow any foreign country people to enter to your country and just destroy your country, of course not, and they will fight for you. To protect you, they will fight with those, and even they can give their lives also. It's the same with WBCs also. These are soldiers or policemen which even give their life, means they will die also in fighting and to protect you from these foreign materials. I hope I'm clear, right? That is why. And what are they releasing? What they release antibodies. Just a second, I'll just increase the size actually. So yeah, they release antibodies which will fight against those foreign material. So let us see what is the normal range for this. The normal range for this, one second, it is 6,000 to 8,000 in, it is cubic millimeter. This is a normal range. Okay, and these WBCs, these are colorless. They don't have any color. Why they don't have? Because they don't have hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a red color pigment. That is why our blood is in red color, because of hemoglobin. Because WBCs are not having any pigment, these are colorless. Clear? If you would have seen here, before I just have erased, yes, I have told you that if you can reverse the video, I have said you that RBC's normal range is 4.5 to 5 millions, and now I'm saying it is just 1,000. So you can see the difference. In RBCs are present in millions, WBCs are present in thousands. Now when coming to the third one, platelets, these are just in hundreds. These are the least things. So let us see now what is happening. One second. Yeah. Now I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, let's first go to platelets. We were discussing about platelets. Now I'll just erase this all because this is all not needed, right? Correct. So we were discussing about, sorry for the disturbance. we were discussing about platelets. Now, what are these platelets? Is see, when you get hurt, what will happen? What will happen if you feel hurt? When just if a stone pricks your leg, what will happen? Your blood starts coming out, right? And now, if nothing is stopping your blood, then your whole blood will flow from that passage out of your body. If it flows, what will happen? There will be loss of blood, that is loss of RBCs. Then again, loss of anemia, which I said already, which can lead to death also. That we should not, it should not lead to death. What are we doing? What is nature has given? Nature has invented these platelets. As soon as blood starts flowing, what these platelets will do, they will release enzymes which will stop blood from flowing throughout the time. Now see, if you get a hurt and if blood starts flowing, after a certain time, what will happen? The blood stops flowing, right? Why? Because something is stopping that blood from inside, and that is something but your platelets. Correct? Now, so let me tell you what are platelets in clear. So I've already said platelets help in coagulation of blood. They help in coagulation of blood. Remember this term, coagulation. Maybe this is new to you. Coagulation of blood means just stopping the blood from moving out of the body, flowing out of the body. Now there are diseases also. Now see, if the platelet count is less, of course it means that you are going to suffer from a lot of pains because you don't have platelet much, and that can result in much excess flow of blood. But when it is high platelet count, unnecessary high platelet count, it will result in thrombocytosis. What do we say? What do we say to platelets? We say thrombocytes, right? The disease which results in high platelet count is nothing but thrombocytosis. It's nothing but thrombocytosis. And this usually, if high platelets, that is, if thrombocytosis usually result in cancers. Cancers like lung cancer, gastrointestinal cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and lymphoma. So high platelet count is also not good. Okay. Now, see, why do this platelet counts is being increased? Because something in bone marrow, I've already said, all these cells, increase in bone marrow, right? All these cells, are produced in bone marrow. So there is something which is forcing the bone marrow to produce much more number of platelets. If the reason is unknown, if we don't know the reason, we say that as primary thrombocytosis. We say that primary thrombocytosis, or we say it as essential thrombocytosis. When we don't know the reason, it is an unknown reason. Why is the bone marrow producing that many more amount of platelets when we don't know? That is known as primary thrombocytosis or essential thrombocytosis. But when we know the reason that there is an infection, suppose if there is an infection, there will be a unnecessary rise in platelet count. At that time, we say it as secondary thrombocytosis. We say it as secondary thrombocytosis. It can be infection or it can be any other reason. And if we know that reason why it has increased, we say it as secondary thrombocytosis. I hope I am clear with this now also. Right, so let me erase this all so that I have a lot of place to discuss what I want to discuss actually. So okay, done. Now I'm gonna discuss about, I have forgotten of telling something, that Formation of blood. Please note it down. Formation of blood is called as hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Hemato is something but hemoglobin. Poiesis is nothing but synthesis. So hematopoiesis. Okay. RBCs, when these are getting formed, it is known as erythropoiesis. Formation of blood is known as hematopoiesis. Okay, in my coming video I will tell you about what is plasma, what does it contains, and in coming video I will tell you how is platelet helping, what are the clotting factors, etc, etc. And one more thing I just wanted to discuss is that if you should know this thing. See, platelets, one second. By this video you have got to know that what is the work of platelet. I'm so sorry. What is the work of platelet? It helps in stopping the blood flow, coagulation of blood flow. But there is heparin. There is also something, heparin, which won't stop, which will allow to the blood to flow. It will stop. Platelet is helping stopping the blood to flow. This is opposite of this. It is not allowing the platelets to stop the flow of the blood. It will let the flow of the blood. In some cases, blood need to be flowed instead of what will happen in your veins, in your arteries, in your blood vessels. The blood can be coagulate. It can, it can just stop at one place. That is prevented by heparin. Smoothly the blood is flowing in your blood vessels. That is done by your heparin. If you take the example of Amitabh Bachchan, he doesn't have this heparin much in amount, and that is why the blood clots in his blood vessels. So this heparin is also important at its place. Why? Because it helps in letting the blood flow smoothly. So both the things that happen, they are opposite to each other, but these are very important. So this was our today's video, and I hope you have understood the video. Till my next part, I'll be seeing that I'll try my best to bring the best books for notes for you. Till my next video. Bye everyone. Love you.